Hey everyone, it's Felix Page here from E-commerce Prosperity. Now I've put this video together to really simplify the process of starting your very own high-ticket dropshipping business. I know there's a lot of noise, a lot of information out there, and recently I have had quite a few people who have came to me expressing their concerns in areas of dropshipping, and I'm finding the reoccurring issue is that they're overcomplicating it for themselves. It's not necessarily their fault. It's really just been the result of the overload of information out there. So my mantra when it comes to anything business is to try simplify it as much as possible. So today I've put together this video. I was going to do a Facebook Live, but I decided just to record the video first. And then if anyone has questions while watching this, feel free to comment below and I'll answer each one individually. And then perhaps some point next week when I got a bit more time, I will definitely jump on for a Facebook Live where I can answer your guys' questions in real time. Anyhow, let's get into the video. So, how to start your very own high-ticket dropshipping business with 5 simple steps. So these are the 5 simple steps that I use each time I launch a new dropshipping store. So, the very first one is find a product that sells for at least $500. So this is high-ticket dropshipping after all. We're not going after the low-cost AliExpress plastic products that we can sell for about $30. We're looking for local, well, in this instance, domestic suppliers, that being local in the United States, where we can sell to the US market as well as the Canadian. Okay, and we're looking for expensive products. So I'm going to provide a list of high-ticket products and niches at the very end for you guys to access. But the first place you want to really start looking is places like Google.com, Amazon, Walmart, Target, Home Depot, all those online websites that have massive distribution of products, and then start filtering by the $500 price ranging up. Okay, now the reason why we want to have at least $500 is because the more expensive the product is, the more profit you will make per sale. Now, once you have a list of products or niches that fit that price range, the next thing you want to do is ensure that there are stores already dropshipping those products. So what that means is you want to find online stores that are actively selling these products via dropshipping. So if you are quite new to the dropshipping space, especially with high-ticket dropshipping, it might not be fairly obvious right away how you can tell if a store is dropshipping or not. Now, I have done a video about this in the past in my Facebook group as well as on my YouTube channel. So definitely go look those up. But basically, when it comes to identifying a dropshipping store, a high-ticket dropshipping store, what you need to look for is a few key giveaways. And the first one is that they will sell multiple brands on that store, but not their own. So they won't have their own brand, but they may sell a dozen or so other brands on their website. The other key giveaway is that they don't have a physical location mentioned on their website. So that might be on their contact page or about us page. They may have a mailing address, but they don't actually have a physical storefront location. So no showroom, no warehouse, no retail store address on their website. That basically verifies that they're only selling online. And then thirdly, the third thing you can look for, which with some websites they have, but not all that are high-ticket dropshipping, is a mention of shipping straight from the manufacturer. So they might have that as a slogan, they might have it as a security badge or trust factor on their website. So that can be found on their About Us page, on their contact page, where they detail exactly a little bit about their logistics. And it might go along sort of lines of, we ship straight from the manufacturer so that you, the consumer, the customer at the end, are saving the most cost. So that's really just another way of saying we drop ship this from suppliers. They're trying to say there's no middleman when really, technically there is no middleman, because if they're selling it at the same price as their supplier, there's no markup. They're just getting a discount. But they are sort of operating as the middleman themselves without obviously like admitting it. So they are the 3 key factors to look for. And worst case scenario, if you're really stuck on a particular product and you think you found a store, then you can just ask. You can ask the store itself. You can go through their customer support and ask them if they have a warehouse or showroom. Do they hold the inventory themselves, or do they work with another supplier? And they may or may not give you this information, but you'll probably be able to find out whether or not they're drop shipping from those three initial key points I gave you. So once you have verified that they are drop shipping, the next thing you want to do is take note of the brand names on the website. Okay, and you're going to use those brand names. You're going to go into Google, you're going to type in those brand names, and you're going to try find the supplier's website for those brands, so the direct supplier's website. And then from there, you want to contact that supplier with the intentions of becoming a sales distributor for them. So you want to become a sales dealer for their particular brand. There's a number of ways you can do this. You can email them, you can call them. Some supplier websites might even have a submission form on the website, so you can take care of it then and there. Okay, now once you have been granted approval to sell their brand, which with some suppliers can take a couple days, with others it might take a little longer depending on how many dealers they work with and the sort of criteria they go through when they're, I guess, screening for new dealers. But once you have been approved, they've granted you approval, and they've given you their dealer's price list, so you know how much profit you're making per sale, which for most suppliers should be anywhere between 20 to 30% discount per sale. So if you're selling a $1,000 item, that's anywhere between $200 to $300 discount per sale, which means that you keep that profit. You sell it for $1,000, you get it from your supplier for either $700 to $800. So once you have that price, once you've been approved by your dealer, the next thing is you set up your Google Shopping ads. Okay, now Google Shopping is really important because this is where a lot of customers are going to come to browse and actually shop for when it comes to high ticket expensive items. The reason why I'm not talking about social media or Facebook yet is because most people on social media aren't shoppers, and most people on social media won't be willing to spend $1,000 on a product randomly because they saw an ad. However, with Google, it's totally different because they've gone to Google first and they've searched in the product they're looking for, and then your ad has showed up in the top results. So it's a whole different ballgame that way. And this comes down to what I call the buyer's intent. So I have done some more videos on buyer's intent in my Facebook group. So if you're in my Facebook group, definitely check it out. Just search in the video tab where I talk about buyer's intent, and it's really important to understand the psychology behind this and why we do what we do in high ticket dropshipping. Now, once you have your Google ads set up, obviously you're going to have people coming to your website from Google. Okay, now not all of them are going to buy. Most of them won't purchase something from your website. So you need to set up ways in order to retarget them. So people who have came to your website and then they've left without purchasing, there may be a number of reasons why they didn't purchase. Maybe they just weren't ready to buy on the day. Maybe they didn't have the money yet. Maybe it's just something came up in life and distracted them. Whatever the case may be, it's your role as a business owner to be omnipresent, which means that you want to be at the top of their mind, top of your customer's mind. And the easiest way to do that is to be as visible as possible. When it comes to anything in the online space, when marketing online, the more areas you can be visible and present on, the better it is for your business. Okay, so what you want to do is then retarget those people on Facebook. Okay, now Facebook's really good for advertising and retargeting. So setting up a retargeting ad on Facebook where you can target everyone who came to your website from Google, and you can set that up in different time periods. I would really set it up first within the first 3 days of website visitors, and then 7 days after that, and 14. And not only can you retarget on Facebook, but you can also retarget on Google via their display network. So how their display network works is you are able to show an ad on various different websites where your previous website customers have came from. So if that doesn't make full sense, I definitely recommend just jumping onto Google or YouTube and typing in the Google Display Network advertising and see how it works. But essentially you can set up a visible banner ad with your product, and if someone had came to your website from a Google shopping ad 2 days ago, didn't buy anything, and then they were browsing on a website like ESPN or something like that, and which displays ads, one of those ads can be yours. They see your ad, they're familiar with your product, they remembered they came to your website a couple of days ago, and if they click, that means they're interested in continuing their browsing, and we can make the assumption therefore that they are a targeted buyer. They're quite interested in your product based off the previous actions they're taken, so it's important to continue to stay in front of their eyes online. Alright, now that is essentially the simple 5-step formula. You set everything up that way, and then you give it time, and you learn to understand the data. Learn the data, what your website traffic is doing, how they're behaving, what this means, where you can make improvements. I can guarantee you that over time, you'll start to generate sales with your high-ticket business, and then with that, you'll be able to start growing very quickly, because the profits you're making they're pretty good. You only have to have you can have half a dozen sales per week, and you're making some very tidy profits. You reinvest that back into your business, and your business can just continue growing. So take it from me. And one other key piece of advice I want to give you is, with these business models, you really have to have a budget for advertising. So you will see that 2 out of 5 of the steps involves paid advertising, that being the retargeting and the Google Shopping ads. So these aren't free, unfortunately. It's just the world we live in. So you do need an advertising budget, and the more money you can allocate to this budget, the faster you will start getting results, and with results will come sales. So I don't advise having a ridiculous budget. I'm not talking thousands of dollars in your first couple of weeks of advertising, but if you can at least afford anywhere between $300 to $500 in your first 2 to 4 weeks of advertising, it's going to make your journey much more productive. You'll feel like you really are achieving a lot more, as opposed to starting on something less than $100, where you won't really see much going on, and you really run the risk of getting disheartened and really losing track and focus. So that's my key advice when it comes to advertising. Keeps the wheels rolling in this whole business. And on top of that, you have to realize this is a business. Businesses do take time. There is a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of people talking about this hype, and in my opinion, it's luck. A lot of them had luck when it came to making ridiculous amounts of money very quickly. So you have to realize these people, they had a huge element of luck on their side. So putting that aside, focus on the core concepts, the core principles and mentality when it comes to building a business. It will make this journey much more smoother, and everything plays out in the long run. Okay, so that's everything from me. Finally, I will put a comment down below under this video where those of you who would like access to the list of high-ticket niches. So there's roughly, off the top of my head, I think there's about 150, maybe 200 niches we put in there. So normally I have this available for my private paid students, but I've decided I'll put it out here today, and any of you who go through it and you find a suitable niche and you start pursuing that niche and building a store, and later on down the line you have amazing success, you know who to thank. Okay, alrighty, well that's everything from me. Anyone who has any questions, feel free to comment below. Otherwise, you can reach out to me personally. I always reply to all my messages on Facebook. Other than that, everyone enjoy your day and take care.